You have something you have built. Now it's time to start thinking like a real business owner. How could you maximize the profit of what you have built? In the future, maybe that would be a sale of this business. So how do you prepare it for a sale? How do you keep this momentum of building a real business? How do you go now from not thinking dropshipping, now we are just a real business? Earlier you start to prepare for that, the better. I'm not saying that you should do this directly or implement these things we're talking about directly. When you're testing, when you're scaling, you shouldn't think about this at all. But this is like when you have your store for 4, 5, 6 months and it's still profitable and still running, and it's running separately like a brand. Now this brand has become sort of a thing in your daily life that you are working with all the time and that brings you money. Now you need to start thinking like a business owner. So how are you selling your brand or your store? It's very easy to sell a dropshipping store these days. You can just list it on some of the sites that's out there. It's a lot of dropshipping selling sites. The most common one and the biggest one is Flippa. And it's a really great site. I have actually sold there. Or talk to a broker that will help you to do that. Like, hey, I got a cool winning product in a cool store. Can you sell it for me? But here's the truth. It's not so easy. When you will be thinking about selling and you're putting up your store for a list, you go into Flippa, of course, and you write a little bit about your numbers and your URL and things like that, and they will give you an offer that is crazy. They will give you like, you get $500,000 for your store or something like that. But that's of course because they want to sell you a place on their platform. They want you to pay $200 to list your store. Then it's not up really to them. It's the buyers to come to the site, of course, that will give you the offers. So it's not so easy. And when you're starting to get buyers interested in your business, they will look at everything in your business. So you need to have everything under control. They will start with doing a due diligence, and that's going over everything in your business. So you need to have everything under control, like I said. And how do you do that? Let's fix that right now, so you are prepared. This is no longer a store. This is a business, and you are the boss. You are the CEO of this business. I think you should aim of running, if you're in the mind of selling already, that's your main goal or your exit goal, I think you should absolutely run the store at least 12 months, because any buyer would go back and look 12 months. They want to see 12 months of results and 12 months of profit. Now, how can you prepare? You can organize your business structure. One thing is that, when we started our business account, our ad account, everything on Meta, you had a lot of ad accounts maybe now because you have tested a lot of products and a lot of stores. You need to separate that now. You need to create a new business manager for only this store with an ad account or 2 ad accounts maybe for this store, but it needs to be a business manager for this store and a pixel for this store only. So because in the sale, when someone is buying your business, they want the business manager, or they really want the pixel to be included in the sell, in the purchase. Otherwise, they won't go through with it. And when you then have a business manager with a lot of pixels and things like that, it's really hard. Because a pixel, you can't change to another business manager. But so you need a fresh business manager, but don't worry, you don't need to do this directly. This is something we do, like I said, 6 months in or something. Then you start a new business manager, a new Facebook structure for only this store, okay? And you start running some ads there, and you still run of course, on the pixel that is now working and guys get you all these sales. But you run them at the same time. And when this start getting really good, you can move over the business totally to the new business account. And if you do this 6 months in, and at 12 months you want to sell it, then you have 6 months of data on this new And that is good enough for the new buyer. You need to implement also a profit and loss tool. One I recommend is True Profit. It's really good. It's just an app on the Shopify dashboard. You push apps, True Profit, and you can download it. That I think you should do already when you're going from the 7-day testing and going in on that you want to focus on this store. I think you should have a profit and loss app, absolutely. And there's a lot of them, but I recommend True Profit. It's really good. But because then you can also download easy a profit and loss sheet for a month or 6 months or 12 months or something and send them to the potential buyer. You should also separate your bookkeeping, because you don't need to separate. Of course, you only need one company that the bookkeeping is all your stores, of course, but maybe you can talk to your bookkeeping that they are putting the numbers in a separate column or something, so you can only see the store, because it's easier then, of course, to show that numbers for a potential buyer or to give it to them, send them to it. This will save you weeks of chaos when you get all these questions. The other step you should implement now directly, or I think you have already done that because we have talked about that in earlier videos. That's focus on community and assets. You should really building a community around your brand. It starts with the email marketing and collecting emails. That's really raise the value of your brand. Also, with that you have an own TikTok account, Instagram account, and a Facebook page for the brand that has some followers. That also really raised the value of the brand. But like I said, don't stress. If you're looking at this now, haven't already test your first product or something, don't stress out about this. Don't think about this now, okay? I don't want you to think about this right now. We need to find your first winning product. This is way in the future when you have at least, like I said, 4 or 5 profit months that's in profit. Then you can start thinking about this. If you do this, you will really have a brand and a business that's sellable, easy. So start thinking ahead. You are building an asset here, not a side hustle or something like that. And even if you never want to sell, because this is just keeping a good cash flow for you, that's really good. You don't need to sell, of course. But even if you don't want to, it's really good that you have everything organized, of course, for your own good also. So that's a little bit more talking about the future, talking about how you can optimize your assets, your brand, your everything. So let's go now and build something that someone else will fight for to own. Okay?